Stitch Roadies. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I am coming to you from inside the beehive. I have a little chair, a rocking chair here that used to belong to my mother-in-law, and I had it in the beehive in Sisters, and I'm bringing it here. And the lighting is so good here in the afternoon that's why I'm coming to you from this spot. What's life got to do with it? What's love got to do with it? Huh? Yeah. Starting to make my way to the top of the emotional heap after this last week. Am keeping my fingers crossed for a more peaceful transition in our government, and to keep myself on an even keel, I am continuing to unpack and be like a little beaver. Work, 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 work. Work, 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 work. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't know if this is the same for you as for me, but when I am in some kind of an emotional upheaval, and this last week has been an emotional upheaval, I can't seem to get my stitchy going. Yeah, I just couldn't. I literally tried to stitch my first ornament, and I haven't given up yet, but I tried to stitch my first ornament for the monthly Orny Sal, and within 4 rows got off somehow, and I literally didn't have the heart to rip out at that point, so I just put it back in the bag for now until I can figure it out. It's not in timeout. I'm not giving up on my monthly Orny Sal, but I was kind of interested in the fact that that things were not so balanced in my life. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to take a break from that, and I'm going to start the Leo chart. I had no idea what I was doing. It's a Satsuma Street, and it's done on Aida or Aida cloth, and I am not as familiar with that, and it was kind of an uncomfortable process, and it was a black 18 count, and the black 18 count, if I understood it correctly, this is, stay with me please. If I understood it correctly, you do like 2/1, I'm guessing. And when I started to do that, I stopped like within the first row, because I was, in my mind, it was going to be this big. This big. But I realized that it was going to be this big. And I was like, oh, so I called Pocket Robin. That's our nickname for my friend Robin, because she has the answer for all my questions or all my worries. It's like she's a little person in my pocket. We call her Pocket Robin when you need an answer. So I text her early in the morning. I think I sent her a picture, and I'm going, what the heck? And I said, can I do it over 2 to make it bigger? Because I wanted it bigger. I didn't want it this big. And she said I could, but I should do it with 3 strands. So then she explained to me how I would do 3 strands. So I got to row 4 of the project and realized I was off. It's black, it's hard to see. I mostly stitch in the evening. I just was like, oh my God. And I did try to figure it out. I did try for a moment. And then I said, forget it. I'm going to rip it out. It's only 4 rows. So I ripped it all out. And she told me that she had done the Satsuma Street, instead of doing it on black, she had done it on a white or cream, and that the colors popped on that too. So I might do mine on linen, not Aida cloth. It feels weird to me. I know some of you are, and I'm not being a hater. I'm not. I want you to know, it's like Java Girl says, don't be an Aida hater. I'm not being an Aida hater. I just don't get it. I am not a good stitcher. And it could be that just emotionally right now, I can't seem to get my stitching going. And I had all these big dreams this month about, do I sound a little whiny? Yeah, maybe I am a little whiny. I could be a little whiny just because I'm trying to figure this whole thing out. And I was going to start the Long Dog Pandemic as my January 1st start with Erin, the 2 Martini stitcher. I literally can't find the floss, and I pretty much unpacked everything and rechecked everything. I don't think I would have put it in a project bag, but I've kind of done a cursory check of other project bags, and it's a whole lot of floss. You know, that chart, I think, if I remember correctly, takes like 20-some flosses to complete. And so I ordered extra, and I remember getting it. I remember that it's mascara, and but I can't find it anywhere. I can't find it anywhere, and that's a lot of floss to order again and then find it. So I had to really think about where I was emotionally, and you have to give yourself kind of like you gotta give yourself a break. And it's like my word for the year is today, the word today. And so when I get up in the morning, I only have control, or only need to worry about today. And so I know that it will eventually show up. I just have no idea where it is, and it's a wad of floss. Oh, yeah, I know. I must look a little tired. I am a little tired, but I decided to regenerate my stitching, because it is, I mean, I did not stitch the 2.5 weeks, yeah, the 2.5 weeks we were packing. I did not stitch once, and then once we were moving and got here, I did those 2 little cursory attempts, having to made a mistake on both, and realized that I needed to take a stitchy break and really think about what I want to do. And so I got inspired by my friend Sandy, who she lives in Canada, and she is doing she was starting the new year with the chart Begin. And I thought, that sounds nice, huh? To begin 2021. And so here's the chart. It's a Bent Creek chart. Begin a journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a single step. Yes, this is the perfect chart to start 2021. And it was already kitted up. Of course, I wasn't thinking about that until she asked me a question about the chart, and I said, I don't know where it's at. She goes, we already have it kitted up. She knew I already had it kitted up. So I went hunting for it in my project bags, which is a dot goose. I love it when they put their name on the little tag there. Oh, yeah, dot goose. Isn't that sweet? So sweet. And I am doing it on 32 count Belfast linen smoky pearl. Oh, I love this color. I love that color. Yeah, and so it's all kitted up and ready to go. So today I am starting this chart as my 2021 chart to finish. Yeah. Until I find, and when I do find the floss for that long dog pandemic, I am going to start that. And the other one I want to start, I know some of you really want to see me put together that frame. My grandson saw it and he thought it was like Tinker Toys. He was like, what's this? What's this? I thought, oh, it's a cross-stitch frame. We're not going to open that now. But he probably could put it together. So, if I don't find in the next month the floss for that long dog pandemic, I am going to open that frame up and I'm going to mount the Christmas Quaker 2 on it, because that's the other project that I kind of wanted to do with a frame and see how it worked. I tried to stitch Leo on a hoop, and I don't think that's the reason I got off count. I think it was the black cloth, the tired eyes, the lack of enthusiasm, because I'm just so pooped. Right now we are in the process of depersonalizing our condo in Portland, because we really don't need it anymore. And so here we're still not unpacked here, and we're going back and forth to the condo and hauling stuff from there. Holy moly, but I found a whole bunch of my quilting stuff over there that I had packed up, and that's where the linen was. It was in a box that I put in my storage room at the condo. So I at least found the linen. I just can't find the floss. Yeah. So I'm trying, we decided to take today off from any major must-dos. You know, we just needed a little bit of calmness and yeah, G's down there puttering in his music room, and I'm here talking with you here in the new beehive, which I really love. But I also this morning was making a trip to Goodwill. You would think we like decluttered to pack, but even though this house is square footage wise larger than our last house, it doesn't fit what was in our last house. We designed that house, and it had a lot of storage. It just had a lot of storage. And here for whatever reason, which I have yet to figure out, we don't have that. But we are turning this house into the type of home where we live. We really live here because, you know, we used to have, and you might know this, and all of you that are in the process of moving, I hope you have your stitching out, by the way, because this is going to be damn boring, just listening to me chatter without something in your hand to do. But what was I saying? Oh, in the last house, you know, we had a specific room for guests, and we hardly ever had guests. I mean, we had, you know, because my girlfriends all lived there, and at one point the kids lived there, but then they moved here. But then our older son and his wife, they have a little vacation spot they can go to that's in Central Oregon. And my younger son and his wife, they're, you know, they're busy here. They didn't get away, but maybe once a year, Thanksgiving, maybe twice. So it was like uselessly designated space. And we decided in this house, we were not going to have any of those useless designated spaces that remain in pristine, decorated, you know what I'm talking about, in the possibility that someone will show up. So the room that would be designated like is if you had company, which this last year nobody really had company, and then if we do get company this year in 2021, it's going to be like far and few between. We turned it into a playroom. Yeah, because our grandchildren will come here more on a weekly basis than anybody else, and so I have all the toys there. I have the bookcase with all the books, and the picnic, the little play school picnic table to sit at, and so yeah, so we're slowly getting ourselves comfortable in the space, and really thinking about using this house, and not having like these different spots that are like picture perfect, you know. Hence, more trips to Goodwill, let me tell you. Yeah, you really learn. I said that before, you really learn about yourself when you do a move. I have a lovely neighbor that I met next door, and although we can't socialize, we text back and forth, so that's been fun. You know, it's been fun to have somebody to talk to in the neighborhood. And I'm loving the weather here. You know, it's so different than I've lived in the last 30 plus years. Here, you know, it's much, much wetter, but it'll like rain in the morning and then burst out sunshine in the afternoon, and everything is so green and pretty. It's, I never get tired of looking out the window. I'm excited next week. Yeah, it is next week. I get to go to Acorns and Threads. Yeah. Maybe that'll help me with my stitchy bug. Maybe that'll help me. Nothing like a little inspiration, huh? Wink, wink. But I wanted to share with you, I have my mail forwarded from my mailbox and sisters, and it comes every 2 or 3 weeks. You know, I don't get it, like, he doesn't put it in he puts it in a bundle and then sends it. And so I shared this on the Quilt Roadies channel, but I wanted to share it here since it was Floss and CassieJo Stitches. That's her name on Floss Tube if you're interested in checking her out. But she sent me a lovely Christmas card with Christmas floss. Isn't that sweet? Gosh, I wish I could find my floss. Yeah. But that was very sweet. And then my girlfriend Becca, you know her from SamBrie Stitches, and she is, she's the one that does every Sunday. It's a interview with a floss tuber. And I'm telling you, there are a lot of floss tubers, and they're such a wide variety of personality and the things they like to stitch. It's just inspiring. It's so inspiring to watch those on Sunday. But she sent me a whole little Christmas bundle that I finally got, so I wanted to share it with you. First, her Christmas card that shows some of her stitching and her tree. Oh, next year I cannot wait to actually decorate for Christmas. Yeah. Oh, this is so sweet. Little words. It's a little button. The Bee Company. That is so cute. It says cross stitch on it. And then there was a Pure Beeswax heart. That's to, if you run your needle and your floss, you know, it makes it slide through easier without leaving a lot of residue. Do you know what this is? I've had one of these, but I have no clue where it could be in my quilting life. Now I have one in my stitching life. It holds needles. It's this wooden, it looks like a wooden lipstick holder, but it holds your needles in there. And then you don't lose them when you put them in your bag. And then look at this. Is that not? She's so clever at finishing. She's just so clever at finishing. Yeah, so it says love. Key to love. Is that not just beautiful? It means so much to me. Thank you, Becca. Thank you very much. I'm glad it finally got here. So that was a little fun goodies. So I'm still trying to decorate for whatever reason. I have no clue. I have no clue. For whatever reason, my, oh, and there was a little key charm. Ooh, I don't want to lose this little key charm. I wonder if it came off of something. I'm going to put it in here to keep it safe. What was I saying? You see, my brain is not working. I did go for a walk today to, oh, there was actually needles in there. How cool was that? Oh, it must be magnetic. Oh, yeah, huh? So cool. I went for a walk this afternoon because I've just been so foggy-headed. Just incredibly foggy-headed because I'm tired all the time. You know, I'm just tired all the time. I mean, it's pretty bad when you can't even concentrate on any kind of TV show. We've been watching reruns of The Big Bang every night because all it is wah, 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 wah. It's just noise. It's just noise. And I've been watching that as I get off count when I'm stitching. Yeah. And Wally's been no help, you know. He doesn't warn me that I'm off count. But, yeah. So trying to decorate. Not really decorate, but just try to put up stuff that you had in your previous home, in your new home. Things don't fit the same, but there's some things I just have to put up because you can't live without them. They mean so much to you. And this I wanted to share with you was a cross stitch that and she did not even write anything on it. So, but look at this cross stitch. This has been in every sewing room I've had. And my pocket robin, she's the one that stitched this, and it just meant so much to me. So I am finding a spot here to hang that. And then slowly getting things done. So what have I been doing instead of actually stitching correct count? Well, I've been trying new kombucha. This is Brew Doctor kombucha mint lemonade. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And and then I'm going to start today. I'm going to start this begin, because I know my girlfriend Sandy, she's already started it. I am hoping by the end of this month to actually be totally back into my stitchy groove. But I know those of you that have moved or in the process of moving, and I've heard from many of you, because definitely that's what's occurring right now, know what this feels like. I read an article that said Bend, Oregon, which is the largest town next to Sisters, is now called Zoom Bend, because so many people are moving there. Their inventory for real estate is so low, and the prices are getting higher and higher and higher. So a lot of people on the move. A lot of people on the move. And we also are selling our condo. So we've got that to kind of work through. Otherwise, it's my hope by the end of this month to be back into kind of a stitchy groove. I think really when I go to Acorns next week and I actually see stitchy friends, that's going to be a soul-filling, inspirational moment, you know, because I think what I miss most is that spontaneous girlfriend gathering where you hug each other when you see each other and you just are non-stop talking and trying to catch up. I miss that. I miss those moments, as all of you do, I know. And we just need our country to get on an even keel, and we need our lives to get on an even keel. Now, G had his first doctor's visit with a new doctor on this side of the mountain, and we found out we're in tier 1B, I think he said, which means that most likely we will be getting our vaccine in February. So we just have to hang tight, and you know, you don't want to get sick when there's light at the end of the tunnel. So we're going to be staying pretty safe, and we wear our masks everywhere. But what have I been doing stitching wise? Tacking binding. In quilting, once you've layered your quilt together and you've quilted it all, then you put the edge, the binding on it, and then I like to hand tack those down. And it's just a running stitch, and you don't have to think about it. You just do it, and that has been the perfect thing for me to do in the evening, where you don't have to count, to do anything. So I'm getting binding done that I need, and I gave my first 2021 quilt to my cousin's middle daughter. Her birthday was this week, and so I had, you know, made the perfect quilt for her, and it was already quilted. I just needed to tack the binding down, and so that's what I did, because we have, you know, our family has birthdays one after another, seems like, so I have another one next week. I gotta get bindings tacked. Yeah. So, well, thank you if you hung in till the end for all this rambling, because it does feel like it was a little bit rambly, but I hope by the next time we meet, I'll actually be able to show you some progressive stitching, like I actually made progress, and not that I had to rip out my stitching, and then we can continue on for these goals for 2021. But I'm taking each goal in a segment of today. That's what I'm doing. So I hope to see you next time. You take care, and thank you for being my friend.